Hi everybody. If you've started adding videos to your business, then you know that there are so many tasks that you need to get done in order to release any single video. So today we're talking about how you can batch create your videos, which will make the process so much faster and far less stressful. Let's get right into it. If you're new here, my name is Liz and I release videos every Tuesday teaching you how you can add video to your business. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that you never miss any of my future content. Now, what exactly is the big deal with batch creation? Because it is such a hotly debated topic in the content creation world. 50% of the population says that they only batch create all their content. The other 50% says that they would rather die than try to do anything in a batch. So what exactly does this mean? Consider the fact that just to create one piece of content, whether it is a video or a blog or a graphic, there are actually quite a few steps involved that you have to get through in order to actually release that content. Even with a video, there's almost 6 or 7 steps that you have to go through just to be able to put that out into the world. The problem with not batch creating your content is that you will constantly be switching between different tasks as you are trying to get your video out into the world. So that means first you will be trying to research it, then you will try to shoot it, then you will try to edit it, then you will create all the thumbnails around it. All of these various tasks require different skill sets, different levels of energy. Every single time you switch from one task to another, you are actually resetting your entire clock and starting from scratch again. This is why we say batch creating your videos allows you to focus fully on one task, do that same task for 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 videos at a time, and then move on to the next phase of that entire project. This is a concept that actually takes a little bit of time to get used to. However, people who batch create their content find that they move along far faster than if they try to do all of these individual tasks directly in order. Let's go through a real-life example so that you can understand what this means exactly. Now let me pause to say here that batch creation only works when you have multiple content ideas in front of you. If you only have one idea for a video in front of you, it's going to be really hard to batch create anything because you're forced to just work through that one video idea from start to finish. On the other hand, if you're working ahead and you have 3 or 4 or 5 video ideas in front of you, it becomes magical to be able to batch create all of that so that you end up with a pool of videos at the end. So let's talk about how to do this exactly. Now, the first activity for you to batch is to sit down and think about all of the video topic ideas that you want to release within a certain time frame. You can either plan a couple weeks in advance or 1 or 2 months in advance or even work in a quarter. So that activity should be done on its own, sitting down and brainstorming out all the possible video topic ideas that you know will work well for your audience. Once you complete that, the next task for you to batch is to sit down and take all of those video topics and put them into your content calendar. Do this all at the same time so that you can see very clearly where your video topics might be lining up with other things that are going on in your business, other seasonal holidays, or any of the other things that you want to keep in mind. Do not switch to other tasks at this time. Just focus solely on putting all of those topics into your content calendar. Next, you want to sit down and create all the research in a batch for all of the video topic ideas that you've just thought about, or at least a handful of them. If you're planning for a full quarter, then it may be very difficult to start doing the research for so many videos, but at least pick 3 or 4 or 5 of your most upcoming videos and then sit down to do the research. Don't interrupt this process with anything else. Just sit down at your laptop and be ready to research and create an outline for at least a handful of videos. You will find that once you get into the flow of researching the content, your ideas will flow a lot more easily than if you had just researched one video's content and then all of a sudden switched into some other type of task, like preparing your environment or finding the perfect outfit. As you are creating an outline and the content for each of your videos, keep in mind the keywords that you want to use and all of the other relevant data points that you want to include. This is so easy to do when you're working on a couple different outlines all at the same time. This is also the perfect opportunity in a batch to start writing out some of your captions or your descriptions or the text that would accompany each video. The reason I recommend that you do this in a batch at this stage is so that when you have the outline in front of you, you are basically looking at all of the relevant words and the text that should be included somewhat in the text that goes along with your video. You know, when you watch a YouTube video, there'll be a little caption or a description underneath that. So rather than shooting your entire video and then rewatching it to refresh your memory as to what you should write in that description, when you are already sitting and typing out the outline, it's a perfect opportunity to also type out a couple lines that you can use as a caption or a description. Next, in a separate sitting altogether, you are going to find all of the outfits that you are going to shoot your videos in, choose your shooting locations, and make sure that your gear is all charged and wired up. You don't need to do this type of an activity at some other point or wait until the second that you are going to be shooting your video to do this. Just plan all of that out in one sitting as well, and then you can batch that activity. The next activity that you want to do in a batch is to actually shoot your video footage. Now let me say, until you actually start making videos, you will have no idea of how much energy it actually takes to create a video. You have to be in the right frame of mind, you have to be relaxed, you need to have a clear sense of what the content is so that you can deliver it, you need to have enough physical energy. There's so many things that go into actually shooting the video. So don't overextend yourself when you are batch shooting videos. Once you become very used to creating videos, you can certainly shoot 2 or 3 or 4 videos at a time. Until you work your way up to that point, just shoot the one and then see how much energy you have and whether you're able to shoot a second one. On the other hand, if you're creating shorter videos like Instagram stories or reels or something that might be a minute or less, then you can absolutely shoot one, take a couple minutes of a break, but just stay in that same adrenaline and mindset and then go ahead and shoot the next one. You already have your outfits picked out. You have your shooting locations picked out. You've already charged all your gear. There is absolutely no reason that you need to set up everything, shoot one video, and then put it all away and walk off into the sunset and do all of that work again a second time. Rather than that, keep all of your outfits handy, shoot the one, change into the next outfit, shoot the next, change into the next outfit, and keep going until you feel like you are no longer feeling inspired and creative and you're not bringing your best energy. Once you shoot a handful of videos all together, you will feel so much peace of mind knowing that you've got a bank, a pool of content ready that you just have to edit from that point. Now, just before or after you shoot each of your videos, that is the perfect opportunity to take a still photograph of yourself wearing that same outfit. This will be super helpful for you later because you can use that photo on your social media or even to create a thumbnail for that same video. Don't make the mistake of just shooting the entire video and then later trying to scramble looking through that video, finding a still image of yourself. When you're already in that mindset, just having shot the video itself in that outfit, go ahead and pause for a few seconds and take a still shot of yourself and then move on to shooting your next video. So then in a batch, you're going to sit down and edit out as many videos as you can all together without interrupting yourself with any other video related tasks. You will find that when you edit one video and then immediately start editing the next, you will start getting faster and faster because your mind will just be in that frame of mind. All of the clicking and the cutting and the splicing and the inserting of the music and the text and all of that will become a lot faster when you are doing that in a batch. Now, the next activity that would be appropriate to batch at this point would be to create all of your thumbnails or graphics for any of the videos that you have just shot. As you can imagine, this type of simple design work, which you can do on a software like Canva, is a completely different skill set from what you are doing when you are editing videos. When you start editing videos, if you start creating your thumbnails right away, consider again that you are switching contexts and forcing yourself to start working on different types of skills. Instead of that, it is so easy to just create 4 or 5 thumbnails all at the same time. It's just an issue of switching out the photos, switching out some of the colors or the text, and then you can get them all done quickly in a nice big batch. Now, the last part of this process that you can batch is to batch schedule all of the videos that you've created. This is super easy if you're using a platform like YouTube because you can just upload all of the videos that you created, add all of the thumbnails that you made, insert all of the descriptions that you wrote, and then you can just schedule them to auto release at the days and times that you've picked. Now, if you're not using YouTube but you prefer one of the other social platforms, then it's the easiest thing in the world to find one of the apps that will help you to schedule out your video content. I can't tell you the amount of stress it will save you if you don't have to manually post your videos one at a time. When you are manually publishing them one at a time, you have to be available at each of those times. You have to sit there and wait for these videos to upload and to buffer and to go through the system. And then you have to make sure that they've actually posted correctly. Rather than that, why wouldn't you want to just schedule them all at the same time so that they'll just release without you even knowing about it, basically on autopilot? This is the final step in batch creating a video. When you create it right from scratch, do a few at a time, all the way to the point where they just post automatically in a big batch. Now, I used to be the type of person that would never batch create anything. If I wanted to make a video, I would start at step 1 and go to step 2 and then move that way through until I was done and had posted my video. No wonder I was exhausted and always feeling like I didn't have enough time to get anything else done, because in fact, this is the slowest way to work. It also does not give you a sense of satisfaction because all of that time and effort goes to just having one output of one video. Imagine if you can put that same time and effort and still have 5 or 6 videos to show for it at the end. I highly recommend that you try batch creation, whether it's video content that you're making or other content. It does take a little bit of time to get used to this style of working because in fact, it's kind of weird to sit down and make 5 thumbnails at a time or edit 5 videos at a time. But I promise you, you will get into a flow and a rhythm and a zone with that particular type of work, and that is what actually makes it quite a fast process. If you're interested in learning how you can add video to your business, make sure that you give this video a like and subscribe to this channel so that you never miss any of my content that I release every Tuesday. If you know someone who's new to video and could use a few tips, make sure that you share this video with them as well. So until next time, take care.